Hey guys, it's Brandon. It's time for another question of the month. This month it's about bias and how bias affects treatment services and who utilizes treatment services and how we would correct that if we could. I think one of the major bias that exists in the medical field is people who are drug addicts or who use drugs recreationally. They face a lot of stigma. They face a lot of discrimination when it comes to doctors and nurses and getting help. As a recovering addict, I've experienced this firsthand. Whether it's from not prescribing you the right psych meds because they could be addictive, or from not treating your pain as serious because you have a drug addiction problem, or just from not treating you serious because you still use drugs, and so they feel like you are less than them, like you don't deserve help because you're not helping yourself. It's really bad out there. I know one time when I was a drug addict, and I went to an emergency room because I had a big abscess on my arm from injecting drugs. They didn't do anything for I sat there for about 5 hours. Nobody ever came and saw me. Nothing, they said, oh, we're busy. I was the only one in the waiting room at that emergency room. They were just making me wait. Eventually my mom came, screamed at them all, and took me to another hospital where I was seen immediately, where I wasn't treated as different, as less than. So these biases really hurt the people who are addicted to drugs, who want help, but they feel like they'll be discriminated against or stigmatized or any of it. It is really hard for people, especially for people who are gay, bi, trans, who are drug addicts, and who have HIV. It's like we have all of these things already against us in this healthcare field. These people look at us like we're freaking the plague, like we're different, when we're not. We're just humans that need help. I feel like the only way that we could ever overcome any of this is that people need to start, I think all doctors and all nurses, they need to go to trainings. They need to go to trainings about how to deal with things properly, how to deal with this community properly. And even after the trainings, they need to be monitored to make sure that they're utilizing these trainings. That they don't just go to the training, sit through them, nod their heads, and then never act on what they've been taught. I've seen it so much. It's really sad. I've heard nurses talk behind patients' backs, doctors too, talk behind their backs, make fun of them, say really hurtful things. And it's this stuff that stops people from coming in and getting help, from staying on treatment, from taking their meds. It's these judgments and this stigmatization and stuff that it really hurts people. It hurts people badly. So I think that way could be really a good way to make sure that this ends, is to monitor the nurses and doctors, to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, that they're treating people as human beings and not as something less than. And it shouldn't just be limited to the doctors and the nurses. It should be everyone, receptionists, nurses' assistants, everything. Everyone should have these, even security. They should have these trainings and should be forced to use them. And if they don't use them, they should be held accountable for their actions, for their judgments, for their treatment of patients, of people, and not doing it properly. That's the only way I feel like we can get over these stigmas, these bias. I mean, bias is something that you are taught, that you learn throughout your life, but it's something that can change, just like stigma, and through knowledge and through changing your actions, your thought patterns, you can change your bias. So it's something that needs to happen. And I think that's that's about all I have to say this month. As always, it's a pleasure. Thank you guys for watching my videos. And I'll be seeing you guys next month. Take care. Bye.